Hi, welcome to part 6 video of AC drives. Today let us discuss PWM control in drives in detail. We already told the switching devices in VFD widely used item it is IGBT. It can be MOSFET or any other power electronic component, but IGBT is widely used because it can be switched on and off at very high speed and accurately. We will be giving control from controller, and that controller speed can be very high. The general controllers are microcontrollers or ASICs, application specific ICs. And here we'll be seeing the converter and DC link. That is, AC is rectified and DC is created in this section. Generally, the rectified DC value will be 1.35 times of the line to line voltage. If you are getting 480 voltage as input, it will be 650 volt DC. And in the DC link, we will be seeing two sections like this. One is CSI, current source inverter. We will be seeing the DC line like this here, and the voltage source inverter, it is like this. It is having a DC line link like this. The current source inverter, it will be having higher harmonics in the output, and more filter designs will be required at input of the supply and output of the supply. And where voltage source inverter is concerned, it will be having lesser components, and it is having a lesser failure rate. The pulse width modulation, it is done by the switch IGBT by the control given by the control logic. We will be able to control the voltage and the frequency in this inverter output. The control logic, it is already programmed, and in the VFD it can be externally programmed by a terminal or a PC, and the pulses will be given to the IGBT, and based on the pulses it will be switch on and off. We can consider this as a switch, and this switch will be on when a signal is given by the control logic. When the switch is on, it will be giving a current to the motor. So in this picture, we will be seeing 6 IGBTs. By suitably making it on and off, we will be sending current through its windings at sometimes in the one side and at sometimes in the opposite side. So it will be becoming what? AC, alternating current. So we are going to see the output waveforms generated. We already discussed this previous. We will be getting pulse width modulated AC. In the positive and negative section, we will be seeing different pulses given with lesser width in the beginning and higher width in the middle part. You will be able to see the middle part is having very increased width part. Here it is a higher width part of switch on, and in the ends, in the both ends, the width of the switch is very less. And you can see the sine wave, it will be having some changes in its waveform. It is not a perfect sine wave because of this switching action. Here we will be seeing a video which is showing the waveforms. Here we will be able to see the pulse on time, it is getting increased. In the beginning, the pulse on time it is less, but as it is going higher and higher, the pulse timing it is increasing. You will be able to see. Now the pulse time is increasing to the mid part, and after that the pulse width will be maximum at a point, and it is further reducing. Averagely we will be getting a AC sine wave upper part, and the direction of current will be switched here, that is in the reverse direction it will be conducting through some other IGBT. So by making like this, we are getting positive and negative sections, and in an average manner we will be getting a PWM sine wave AC like this. You can see it is becoming effectively AC. And the frequency, you will be able to see the frequency also can be controlled by controlling the pulse width like this. If the pulse width is just increase like this, it will be increasing its reducing its frequency, and as the pulse width is reducing, the frequency can be controlled. By effectively controlling the frequency, we will be controlling its voltage and frequency. Here we will be seeing a motor, and there will be 6 IGBTs, we can say 2A, 2B and 2C, that is 6 IGBTs are there, and we will be giving DC. How it is working is, at any point of time we will be closing 2 switches. For example, we can say A plus and B minus. So what happens is, the current will be flowing in one side and it will be returning back. So this is one direction, and at another point of time we may be closing like this switch and it will be passing the current in the opposite direction. So the switching on and off of these switches, it is controlled by a separate logic circuit. Here we will be able to see switches A and B. There are switch A plus and A minus, and B plus and B minus. By suitably controlling this on time, we will be getting on time like this. So we are considering a AB plus and AB minus. So we will be getting a on time and some off time, and in the reverse direction it will be operating, and it is going like this. So effectively what happens, it is becoming a sine wave like this. And we are having 6 switches, and in a single cycle we know there are 360 degree. So each section, each switch will be controlling 60 degree. 6 into 60 will be getting 360 degrees of control. So A plus at a point of time it will be on, A minus won't be working, and B plus it will be working at a point of time. So this time what happens, both the things are on like this, and it will be having a effective current like that. Now when it is working, the current generated will be like this. It is not a perfect linear characteristics, but it is changes you are able to see, increase and decrease. So this is the actual current being fed to the motor, where the dotted line we can say it is a sine wave reference, and the changes in current in the inverter part, it will be known as hysteresis band. And the switching on mechanism you will be able to see, for the sine wave to happen, the switching time. So this switching time you can see this much condition, it is a switching on part. The switching on time, it is progressively increased up to the maximum value, and after that the switching time will be gradually decreased. Effectively we will be getting the reducing effect of DC in the end of cycle. Now by this method we will be able to change the frequency and voltage of the output from the inverter. For low voltage and low frequency from the inverter, we will be switching devices for a shorter period of time only we will be switching. You can see a very small period of on time it is available here, and it is going on increasing and reducing. So because of the on time is very less, you can see average voltage is this much only. So for low voltage low frequency output, we will be creating shorter on duration. You can compare in the bottom, the on duration it is more. So here and here you can see the difference. The on time it is more, and in the mid part also on time is more. So effectively when the on time is more, we will be able to see here the effective voltage is becoming higher, whereas in the previous case voltage was less. So by controlling the switching widths, we will be able to control the frequency as well as voltage that is required for our VFD and the motor supply. And for high frequency and high voltage, we are creating longer on duration. So this is how a PWM control works. And for creating that output, there will be a reference signal. For effectively showing two phases, we will be having two reference signal. This is only signal, it is not having any power, and a carrier waveform will be there like this. Okay. So depending on the frequency of the references and the carrier, wherever the carrier it is cutting the references, we will be getting generation of pulses. So the on time and off time is controlled by these reference signals and the carrier waves. And based on that, we will be getting positive cycle and negative cycle. Here we will be able to see the DC switching action. Minimum on time gradually increasing, and at maximum point of mid part it is the maximum, and further it is reducing. So we will be getting a line voltage. If we want reduced line voltage and frequency to the motor, what we are going to do? We will be increasing the widths like this. You can see the difference here, on time difference is here, and based on that we will be getting a reduced voltage and frequency. The motor can get any voltage and any frequency as desired from the VFD output. And finally, the motor will be not getting a perfect sine wave, and it will be small disturbances will be there. That is the actual load current fed to the motor. So from a VFD, the motor will be getting almost a good sine wave, and it is known as PWM AC. Different transistors will be on, as we have shown in the previous picture. Upper transistor may be on, and for the negative wave, lower transistor. We are just telling two different transistors, two different IGBTs will be controlling the positive direction current and negative direction current. By continuously switching on and off of the IGBTs, the motor will effectively get a sine wave.